What's going on, people? First episode of Mayday Talks. But before we kick it off, it's a podcast, but it's not a podcast. Basically, it's kind of like a speaking outlet because there's something I want to do next year where I need to add like context in audio, but in a different way. So I thought to test that out and kind of get ready for that, to summarize every second Tuesday and what every second Tuesday was. So if this is your first time hearing me through algorithms or whatever, hello, my name is Mayday. I'm an artist from Birmingham, and in 2020, from the end of May, I released a song every 2 weeks, and the aim of that was to build a catalogue, test out different styles of production and different styles of writing, and then see how much I can do in a confined space of time, while also giving my fans, followers, supporters, fan base music every so often. The plan was to couple that with live shows in 2020 and do one in each different city and have like a new tune for every city, but didn't happen. So I thought I'd do it anyway. So every second Tuesday, in a nutshell, is basically that. So with this, I kind of want to go through like a self-review and then summarize what I learned, what I could have done better, and what I've learned from this, I'm going to take into 2021. So I've summarized what every second Tuesday was. So let's basically just get into the releases. So all the releases are available on Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Amazon, Google. All of them are on YouTube as well. And every second release. So from May 26th was the first release. So starting from then, every 2 weeks following that, there would be a song, but every second release would have a music video. And then obviously with everything going on, some were supposed to have music videos and didn't. There were supposed to be 2 more songs that would have released November the end and early December, but again, with everything going on, I just didn't do that and thought I'd put energy into 2021. So from May 26th, and then whoosh, the last one came out November 10th, and that did have a music video, but that music video I was supposed to shoot, I couldn't because lockdown here, it shut everything down, so I had to take some footage from my trip in Japan and then kind of edit that into a music video, which Jay did a really, really good job of. So the releases themselves, the first one, Future Friday Nights. So Future Friday Nights was basically, in short, staying in on these Friday nights, like now, kind of working, learning to produce, figuring out new marketing techniques and everything that's going on. So then in Friday nights in the future, I can get paid thousands of pounds to go out and perform the music that I'd spent time on prior Friday nights working and putting into. And that one I wanted to try, like, I know the flow was very Friday nights, dim the lights, MacBooks. It was very kind of... It was smooth, but there was a lot of syllables in there. I wanted to try that and see if I could continue that for a whole song. That whirring in the background, it's my MacBook. If you know anything about me, or if you don't, listen to MacBook itself, the tune, which was part of this. But in short, I've had an absolute saga with my MacBook, and it's just a madness. So the overheating is definitely the battery. So already it needs a new battery. So that's one of them situations. So basically, turquoise Vespa. So I like to travel, and me and my engineer Dubsco at the time, we were talking about traveling because I'd just been back from Japan for a few months, and I was like, yeah, I've got this country, and I want to perform there, and I had this big plan for 2020. And then we was on about Italy, and I've been to Italy 5 times, I think. And then basically, I took the story of what happened in Amalfi, which is a place in southern Italy, and I turned that into a story. So that song, Turquoise Vespa, is a 24-hour period. It's that entire story all happened in a 24-hour period. So it was enjoyable to kind of remember back and whatever, and definitely kind of use for influence in the song. So that one, it's very bouncy and bright as well. So I enjoyed that. And then the lyric video was sick. And then the visualizer was taken from Hours episode 1, which I shot in Italy in a prior year as well, which was a different part of Italy. So Anarchy was the next one. Basically, this one was great because I needed a tune so I could just have a big crowd and I had something for them to like mosh to, in a sense, because of how mosh is kind of going into rap shows and grime shows as like a form of dance, if that makes sense. But basically this one this was the first song I made out of everything. So I had this one ready for Japan, and I performed it in soundcheck. And the DJ wheeled it in soundcheck, and then I performed it live, and I got a reload there as well, and it was great. So that footage, to watch that whole show and see that song, that's available on YouTube as well, youtube.com/maydaymusic, but you gotta spell music with a K at the end, somebody took the C. Then after that, it was Meeting Should Have Been a Phone Call, and this one was literally just a mood, like an absolute mood. It's just like raw. I've been in this meeting for 3 hours. Because this had happened, I'd been in a meeting for 3 hours, and then I text my mate after. I was like, raw, that meeting, that could have just been a phone call. Could have been like a 10, 15, 20 minute phone call at most. He was like, yeah, I get it. So that was one that like, I just there people can relate to that one as well. You've been in the meetings, it's just long, it's dragging, it's pointless, shouldn't even be there, shouldn't need to be there. It's like, it could have been a phone call and we still would have come to the answer, the result, whatever. After that was Never Been Welcomed In with Manga. Manga Saint Hilaire, Mobo Saint Hilaire, Mobo nominated Saint Hilaire, you get me? With this one, I had a big video planned. For those who don't know, Manga is a member of Roll Deep. Been super consistent the last 2-3 years. Very high quality artist in what he does, his whole brand, merch, everything. So I got gas when I had the tune with him, sent his parts back about 3 a.m. So I went back to the studio at like 5, even though I just got back from there at 2. I was like, I need to get this done ASAP. Got it done, went to shoot the video, and we just had to shoot a smaller scale video because everything that was going on, we couldn't really execute what we wanted to. But that one, I perform that one, and I do like performing that one because it's a nice break. If I'm putting all this energy out, it's a nice break. It's a nice break, not my voice break, but this break is a nice break in the set where it's almost like a garage kind of sounding, and it's a lot slower. So hopefully one day when everything kind of goes back to what's cracking, I'll get to perform that with Manga when he's down here. That'd be sick. Next was Sin and Win. This one, I remember this one because I don't know what it was. I don't know what kind of ego boost, or I don't know what kind of confidence or what potion, but I was just feeling myself that day. And then it was the like Dubsco already had that on something. I went, hold on, pull that out, strip that down, and put it on this. And he just put it in. I was like, the wind, and I just went, what rhymes with wind? Like, let's see. And then, like I said, I was feeling myself a bit cheeky, I don't know, a bit cheeky, I don't know how you want to call it, but it was whatever it was. I was feeling that, and I thought, let's just make a tune. And then that was one of them bright ones. I was like, yeah. And when I was recording it, I was rocking side to side, so I was definitely having fun with that one. Following that was MacBook. MacBook is definitely, from what I've been told by you, like definitely a fan favorite. Definitely very energetic. But like I said, the MacBook's wearing away here. But if you, like I said, if this is your first time you're meeting me, hello. But if not, and you've seen the MacBook saga and lived through that with me, you understand that MacBooks and me are like the best of friends, but like the worst of enemies. Like batteries dying, having to turn upside down and make it and retake it, or whatever. But the MacBook tune in the production side of things, it was very electronic. One blog called it grime EDM, which was I can see why they did it, because like it's got that big EDM like electronic sound, but it's very EDM-esque. That's what they said. But I definitely enjoyed that one. I enjoyed performing that one as well. Next one was Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat is basically one of, I think I'd say Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken would be in that order for me personally. And then like Raiden's like number one. That's it. Like, you can't tell me different. But anyway, that was basically it. I remember I was writing bars with my friend Stretch, and I said this bar about Raiden, and then I turned that into like a whole verse, and that was a scheme, and I turned that whole scheme into what ended up being this tune. Then 4 Tracksuits came out, and 4 Tracksuits is the one where I was like, I haven't barred in ages, I haven't told a story in ages, because like my older music, it was all about telling stories. Now it's more like, let's just make it a good vibe. But like 4 Tracksuits, I was like, I wanna get out there, and I was just telling. I was like, is it the deepest song I've done? Is it? Maybe, I don't know. But 4 Tracksuits, it was so good that Dubsco, we released the instrumental with it, because the instrumental just that. Obviously, listen to the song, it sounds better than what I just did, but it was so powerful in what it was. It's definitely one of those, it should be in a film or like a transition scene in a TV show, stuff like that. It was very, I think it was definitely a deep tune, but I think it's definitely a powerful one as well. Coming up towards the end, we had Heat Check. I'm a massive fan of basketball. That one kind of speaks for itself. If you don't know what it is, a heat check is when a player's got the hot hand, they just can't miss a shot, and they call it a heat check, and just shot after shot after shot after shot just goes in the basket. And that's what I was feeling like when I was doing all this. I was like, I'm really putting out a tune every 2 weeks, and it's going well. Because when I say well, some of the numbers were obviously down, but because I weren't focusing on numbers, I was just focusing on like going from the end of May to as far down as I can do it to a tune every 2 weeks. Like, it was enjoyable, it was sick. So I was really proud of myself to that point. Music money when I got me a MacBook. Music money is when I get me a house. So basically, in January of this year, my old MacBook finally died. But from your support, from PRS payouts, coming to shows, money from streaming, I was able to afford a new MacBook, which I'm actually recording this on and done a load of work on everything since then. But that was only because of your support. So that's where the bar, because I wrote that, I was like, music money when I got me a MacBook. And I was like, yeah, but I'm going to make enough here that music money will get me a house. Obviously got some work to do before that, but that was it. And then that just built the whole song from there. Second last tune, or the penultimate tune, was Girl from Famagusta. So I think the first country I ever went to in my life was Cyprus. I think we went to Pretaris first. I think. But we had a day trip to Famagusta, and then it was just this ghost town there. I was like, raw. And then ever since then, this is way back when, but ever since then it was stuck with me. So I do want to go back to Cyprus eventually and actually go to Famagusta, because we had a day trip there, but like, I think the time we went, it weren't the greatest situation. I don't really know the lay of the land at that point, but it was definitely one where it's like, raw. And then that was it. And then the Girl from Famagusta is very slow. That was produced by Vagrant. One of the few tunes that wasn't produced by Dubsco. Same way Heat Check was produced by True Hippie. Who else have I missed? No, yeah, so Vagrant, True Hippie and Dubsco were the producers for most, if not all of these songs. But anyway, yeah, Girl from Famagusta. And I was just like, I don't do girl tunes often, but this one I wanted to put a bit of a spin on it. So yeah, that's what Girl from Famagusta was. And then Whoosh was the final release of Every Second Tuesday. And Whoosh was one where, like Anarchy, but like times 10. The hook's a lot more simple. It's a lot more, because there's a lot less words in it as well, because of how I was bouncing across the with the flow. It was a case of, I can perform this and have better breath control when I'm doing it. So I performed this for a Russian showcase I did, again, which is on YouTube, for Euro Music Night. And hopefully the plan is to go to Russia next year and perform it as well. But whenever I get to perform that song next and there's a crowd there, if I'm not stage diving or jumping in the middle of the crowd to perform it with them there, then I don't know what's going to happen, but it's gonna be like that. So those are the releases. In short, again, you can listen to them on Spotify, on YouTube, on your preferred streaming platform, whatever. So basically now I just kind of want to go through, I haven't got a list. My list literally says what I learned, what I did well, what I didn't do well, and that's basically what it says. So I've gone through the releases. What I learned was definitely, number one, that you can put out a song every week, every 2 weeks, whatever, but you can't just rely on audio and a music video to do it. You have to have stuff like content around it and tell stories with the tunes that not only raise more awareness but push it, because most of this I did with like 90% of the budget was in making the music video, mixing, mastering, whatever. So I didn't, in hindsight, obviously looking back now, I definitely didn't leave myself enough for marketing materials in terms of getting assets made or any form of content. So, and a lot of it, because I was doing it so often, a tune every 2 weeks, a lot of it I was doing on the fly. Whereas for 2021, like even now before I've recorded this, I've just been making some little videos here and there. Like I'm stacking, so I've got stuff ahead of time that I can just roll out on schedule. Because I didn't miss, like the schedule still hit as planned, even with everything that went on. Like I made sure of it. But I think it was 2 music videos I didn't just put out because I just didn't have the money to do it then. So I was annoyed about that. But again, not having a budget in place, not having the assets and everything ready. So that I've definitely learned to put in there. What I did learn though was, I think I learned how I work in the studio more. Instead of me kind of taking a beat away and writing it, I started to, like, I can't freestyle as such, but like freestyling while the beat was being made and just spitting some older bars I've got and seeing kind of what patterns work and whatever. So I've definitely, in the new music I'm making, that's definitely a thing in there. And I'm kind of bouncing between like, oh, or I'll just make a noise and then Dubsco will start picking up what I'm doing, match the BPM, and then just start plucking sounds and seeing what we're like and how we go from there. I think what I did well as well was I released a tune every 2 weeks. That was the main aim, and I did that. I'd say all of them were well received as well. I didn't really get much in the way of, oh nah, this is, like, obviously people have preferences and favorites and whatever, but I didn't really get much, if anyone say, oh, this was poor or whatever. But music's subjective at the end of the day anyway. Like, you have your opinion, can't please everyone, but it was one of them. So what I did well and didn't do well is, it's kind of just in what I said there. Like, what I did well was I released everything every 2 weeks, like I was gonna say. What I didn't do well was market as well as I should have. A lot of the pre-work as well, so sending out to DJs, any playlist pitching or whatever else, blogs as well, because I was doing it so often. There was times where I'd type up a press release and have it, but I just forget to send it because I was so busy playing for the next one. So time management was great, but like for getting stuff out, it was great, but for the back end work, it weren't as good and as sharp as it should have been. So in short, that's every second Tuesday. That's every second Tuesday summarized. That's what I learned from releasing the tune every 2 weeks. And that is also it, in the sense of whether it's a podcast or not. Like, there's not going to be a new episode every week. There's not going to be an episode next week. There might not even be an episode next month. It's going to be a case where I will use this platform as a platform by where if I release a song and I want to add context to it, then yeah, like I won't be commenting on anything that's going on. It's just like Mayday Talks. Like, this is the platform where if I want to talk about something, then I'll do it here. So it's a case of more time. I'd say 99% of the time it's going to be adding context to the music I've released, or maybe, I don't know, if I've got a project or something coming next year, like little intros and little BTS kind of context to the tracks or something. I don't really know, but I definitely do want to put this out there. So if you listened, thank you. Read everything in the show notes, and every release is on Spotify. So everything is on YouTube, all the music videos, everything else, and then it's also on Apple, and then all your preferred platform, and whatever platform you're listening to this, it's going to be on there. If not, Twitter and Instagram is at MaydayMayo, so MaydayMayo. If you want to search anything there or holler at me there, please do. But for now, I'm out.